just emptied out one of my worm beds. I think that was 6 of these 25-litre containers, and as you can see, it's kind of lots of castings on the outside. There's still some worms in here as well. It's quite distorted from all the kind of movement and all the settlement in the castings and the compost as it breaks down. But this is the material I've removed from those containers. So it's I don't know what percentage. There's still some Tookie stuff on this. Is just straight as it's come. There's a little bit of plastic in here from I don't know what that's from actually. There's some eggshells which are sort of breaking up. There's little woody bits. It hasn't been sifted or anything. That's the plastic from these containers, or these bags rather. So you can see it's quite nice stuff. I don't think you're going to get that much once it's been riddled through a sort of maybe 6mm sieve or something like that. There's some little bits of wood chip there, but you can see there. I mean, I don't have a problem with that. It's just if I'm going to use this for potting mixes and soil additives as opposed to just using it as a mulch, because if you just dug this straight into the compost, it would be dug it straight into the beds, it'd be fine. That's amazing stuff. So it's pretty good. So that was this worm bed. So I'm taking the containers out and then filling them up with part composted brewer's waste. It's not really composted at all, but this is kind of like a longer term composting thing. But you can see how much it's settled underneath the container there. That it's dropped down about 6 inches, and my bricks have sunk right down as well. So that's really good. It's about 400mm deep, and what I've done is I've dug some of the clay out as well, added that to the paths, and then I'll put some fresh wood chip over that. So that's that worm bed. These are the worm towels I've made, and I'd just like to show you this bed here. So I've just set this worm bed in. So this is just, I've got a little aeration kind of thing in there as well. So this is part composted material. There's already some worms in there, so I've just taken that out from a compost bin and just stopped this up. And also there's another one of these containers with the holes in it, like a worm tower. You can see there's just the holes there. So I've dug that into the soil. When I dug the hole, I just used a fork. The soil's really quite loose now, and if you can notice, this is the soil that I've dug out from that pile, and there's some clay in there, and there's lots of little worms as well. But you can see it's kind of crumbling up into more of a tilth rather than a great big clods of horrible sopping wet clay. And what I'll do is this compost here, this one here, that's probably quite usable as a mulch as it is. But what I'm going to do, let's have a look. Yeah, see, it's not so bad actually. But there's still some recognisable oats and things in there. So what I'll do is I'll overwinter that in that bin, keep it topped right up, maybe add some comfrey as I kind of get some as well, and then I'll mulch this bed so it's mounded right up. And I think I'll keep a worm tower in here as well. I kind of like those. There's some charcoal, which kind of, I don't know, probably not doing an awful lot in the bed because it's big chunks, but I think it's quite good at loosening up the soil. It's got quite a nice sort of structure. It's good as a bulking agent in compost. So to see there's some sort of, not the biochar, but going that way. But this is a really quite nice bed. It's pretty crumbly, nice loose stuff. There's a lot of worms in here. There's some animal bones. I don't eat meat like my partner does, so occasionally you get leftover scraps and things like that. Yeah, quite nice. I wouldn't say I was no dig. My beds are no dig, but my paths, I dig those and use those as a sort of compost, underground all year round compost bin. Yeah, so this is going to be nice once it's got that mulch in there, and I've got those bags over there. So I've got, that's about 50 litres, So 150 litres of pretty much worm castings, and then I'll use those for the containers in the polytunnel. So yeah, what I kind of like doing as well, this is the underground 25 litre worm sort of container, so I've got 6 of those in the worm bed, 6 or 7. The longer one there's got about 8 or 9, that's a really massive one. I kind of like these as feeding stations as well, so these are obviously much easier to harvest, and what I quite like is having the bulk of the material which I can use as mulches, and then smaller amounts of worm castings which I can sift and then use as a sort of add to the sort of potting mixes in containers and pots. I mean, if you've got just a massive 150 litre bed, it's kind of overwhelming. But what I like is that that's a little sort of habitat as well, so it's a space for worms to overwinter, and it's nice and protected from all the weather. So it's more like their natural environment. So it's less prone to kind of temperature fluctuations and drying out as well because it's underground. But yeah, you can see this soil's getting really nice now. It's had so much organic matter worked in. And weeding isn't a problem because the weeds just pull straight out.